throws this question mark kick that goes right over the head of Khalil. Khalil then catches Alex with a huge right hook, and it buckles out Alex or drops him.
Fighting out of the red corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Crossover MMA. This will be my UFC 307 recap. I went 8-4 on the card. The card overall, in my opinion, was okay, but the main event definitely delivered. Timestamps will be in the description. Let's get right into it. In the main event, we have Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. for the light heavyweight title. So in round one of this fight, Khalil Rountree comes out. He isn't backing up at all, and he's gaining this respect from Alex Pereira. They're filling each other out. Rountree's trying to counter Alex's strike. Both guys are landing. Alex is using more of his kicks. Khalil is using his blitzes with his hands. Khalil's speed is very noticeable, and Alex starts planting seeds for later in the fight with his lead calf kicks. Every jab that Alex throws brings out a counter blitz for Khalil. It's a very close round. Rountree won this round on every judge's scorecard, 10-9. When I was watching it live, I scored it for Alex, and then even on rewatch, I still gave that round to Alex. But I could be a little biased, and that's me being honest with you. Round two, Alex comes out right on that slow, methodical forward pressure, lands a good body kick. Khalil catches it and then lands a nice right hook to the side of the head. Pereira starts to land some good shots at about the 3:45 mark of the fight. Alex is starting to use his jab more in this round, and he's starting to get control of the fight in this round. You can tell that Khalil was starting to slow down a little bit at probably about around the 2-minute mark of round two. Then with Alex is starting to get control and momentum in the fight, he throws this question mark kick that goes right over the head of Khalil. Khalil then catches Alex with a huge right hook, and it buckles out Alex or drops him. I'll put the video in here. You be the judge. It's the best shot of the round and of the fight so far. But then Alex resets very quickly out at range. He gets right back on the pressure. Khalil then lands a big head kick right before the end of the round. And in my opinion, Khalil won round two. He landed the two biggest strikes of the fight and the two biggest strikes in that round, dropping Alex. So it's a 10-9 round for Khalil, in my opinion, and all three judges gave it to him as well. Round three starts. Alex comes out, and he gets right back on that slow, forward, methodical pressure. Rountree lands a strong combination, right hook, left straight. Then Khalil lands a strong body kick. Alex bounces off the cage. And in that moment, I really thought the body kick really hurt Alex because he pretty much just fell back into the cage and he dropped his hands. Later on, we found out after the fight that Alex came into the fight with a rib injury. So that definitely explains that reaction that I noticed. Alex then starts picking up the pace a little bit on Khalil, and Khalil counters, but you can tell he's starting to breathe a little heavily through his mouth at this point. Alex's jab that he started trying to implement early in the fight, he's starting to have more success with it, and it's starting to find a home. Khalil at this point is starting to slow down, and he's becoming a bit more stationary. About 90 seconds left in the round, Alex really starts getting into his bag, and he's landing more, increasing the pressure. Then about 45 seconds left, Khalil is starting to fade, and Alex is just gaining all this momentum, landing multiple strikes, and it's a clear 10-9 round for Alex. Then we go into round four. This round starts, Alex is basically challenging Khalil. He's talking to him in probably Portuguese, but you can tell with his body language that he wants Khalil to brawl with him. He's trying to entice him into a brawl. And he just wants Khalil to use that little bit of energy he has left. And at that point, Alex lands a solid and crisp jab, and that pretty much just starts the avalanche. Now Alex starts slipping punches and countering Khalil. Khalil's face is really showing the effects of all the shots that he's taken. Alex lands a heavy right hand counter and he goes for the finish. Alex then unloads combinations, 2 big body shots and a nasty uppercut. Mark Goddard jumps in, stops the fight. Alex wins by TKO. Alex really went into his bag in this fight. He showed a high level of patience, fight IQ, and skill set. Khalil was very much a game opponent, but at the end of the day, Alex's gas tank management, his championship experience, and his basic fundamentals proved to be the difference in this fight. Alex has now defended his title 3 times in 175 days, breaking a record previously held by Ronda Rousey. Khalil Rountree is an absolute warrior. He deserves all the respect in the world, and as you can see by all the damage he took in his face. Next fight, we have Raquel Pennington versus Julianna Pena for the women's bantamweight title. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. This was a close and competitive fight, and it really came down to the first round and how you see it. So Julianna Pena clearly won rounds 2 and 3. Raquel Pennington clearly won rounds 4 and 5. So I'm going to break down round 1. Round 1, Julianna Pena comes out, lands a couple jabs. Pena then lands a big jab and gets a good reaction out of Pennington. Both women exchange strikes. Raquel landed a good uppercut, a couple good leg kicks. I wouldn't say there was a lot of damage done on either side in this round, as it was a very close round. Watching it live, I gave it to Raquel Pennington, but Julianna Pena won this round on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards, as you guys will probably see. I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I say Raquel Pennington, I thought she won the fight, but I won't say it was a robbery because it was a close fight. And I think you can't have robberies in close fights. You just can have bad decisions, unfortunately. And Raquel Pennington this time was on the wrong side of a bad decision. Next fight, we go to Mario Bautista versus Jose Aldo. This is another controversial fight that ended in a split decision. All 3 judges gave round 1 to Bautista, round 2 to Jose Aldo. Round 3 is the swing round, so let's get into it. Round 3, both guys come out swinging, but neither guy's really landed any more than the other. Bautista shoots and pushes Aldo up against the cage. Bautista really just holds Aldo there. Neither fighter's doing anything or landing anything. They're just stuck on the cage. The ref finally breaks them up, and literally as soon as they break them up, Bautista reshoots and pushes Aldo up against the octagon again. So Jose gets free with about 1 minute left, starts throwing some strikes, but nothing's really landing. The round is still on the table at this time because, like I said, these guys have just been in the clinch and they haven't really been doing much. Aldo's walking Bautista down. Bautista gets back into the clinch, pushes Aldo up against the cage again. It's a very ugly round, but if I'm being honest with you, Bautista did what he did to give himself the best chance to win. I scored it for Aldo. Bautista ended up just holding Aldo in the clinch. I didn't think it was enough, but he ended up getting it to go his way, and he ended up getting his hand raised. Next fight, we have Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. Round 1, both guys come out trying to find the range. It's tit for tat so far starting out. Holland lands a couple strikes. Dolidze then catches a kick and lands a takedown at about the 245 mark. Dolidze lays in Holland's guard, lands some short shots to maintain the position. It looked like Holland was trying to swivel his hips and go for an armbar. And I think something got caught up on the shoulder, and I'm pretty sure he hurt his rib or intercostal muscle. He yelled out in pain with about 50 seconds left in the round. Dolidze then gets Holland in full mount and starts landing some heavy ground and pound. Holland can't really defend himself at this point, and that's the end of the round. It's a clear 10-9 for Dolidze. And then in between rounds, Holland is talking to his corner, telling him he hurt his rib, and he isn't able to come out for round 2, and Dolidze wins by TKO. Next fight, we have Ketlen Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. So round 1, Harrison comes out, putting some pressure on Vieira, finally gets into the clinch with her. Both ladies land some short body shots in the clinch. They both break free. Then Harrison gets a takedown, gets some good ground and pound. In my opinion, it's a 10-9 round for Kayla Harrison. Round 2 starts. It's a tit-for-tat round. Harrison tries to get another takedown, but doesn't get it. It's a very close round. Vieira lands a nasty elbow in the clinch, cuts Harrison pretty good. Harrison landed the more strikes, but the biggest strike of the round landed for Ketlen Vieira. I ended up giving this round a 10-9 round for Kayla Harrison, but like I said, this was a very close round, so who knows? Round 3 starts. Harrison comes out, gets the takedown, controls Ketlen Vieira, lands some ground and pound, and that pretty much sums up round 3. I wouldn't say this was an impressive showing by Harrison. Her stand-up definitely needs some work. I think she can get exposed on the feet. She has a tough time implementing the wrestling. I think in a clinch is where she can use her judo background and her experience very well, but ultimately she gets her hand raised. So going into the prelim, I'm just going to do some highlights of the prelim. So I'm going to look at the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley fight. So in round 1, Wonderboy's speed, his unique strikes, distance management, and timing are clearly giving Buckley some problems. Wonderboy is getting the better of the exchanges. Buckley tries to use some grappling, but Wonderboy defends very well. Buckley starts blitzing Wonderboy and mostly ended up getting countered by Wonderboy. So I gave this a clear 10-9 round for Wonderboy. Round 2, both guys come out. They have some success early in the round. Wonderboy's countering. Buckley's starting to land more with his blitzes. About 90 seconds left in the round, Buckley starts landing some really good shots. It's a close round, but I gave this round a 10-9 for Joaquin Buckley. Round 3 starts. Buckley comes out much more aggressive, throwing some big shots. It's a little tit for tat, but then Buckley blitzes Wonderboy, lands a leaping right hook, clips Wonderboy on the chin, puts him out badly, KOs Wonderboy, and Joaquin Buckley wins by KO. Then we have Ryan Spann versus OSP. Both guys come out. It's a tit for tat in the first round. Ryan Spann lands a big 1-2. OSP responds, but then Spann lands a big right hand and it stuns OSP. Then OSP tries to grapple, and literally in like a second, Ryan Spann snatches a guillotine. They fall to the ground. Ryan Spann ends up mounted, and I mean, as soon as they touch the ground, OSP is tapping. So Ryan Spann gets the submission round 1 by mounted guillotine. Then first fight on the card, we have Court McGee versus Tim Means. So in round 1, both guys come out, going tit for tat. They're exchanging in the pocket a little bit. They end up against the cage. Court McGee gets a takedown and takes the back in an instant. He gets one hook in. They're grappling for position as Means is trying to stay calm and get out of the position. McGee ends up slipping his arm under Tim Means' chin. Then McGee at this point gets both hooks in, gets control of Means, gets under the chin, cranks the neck, and gets the tap in round 1. Overall, I would say this card was okay. The main event definitely delivered. Alex Pereira saves another card. This guy is really unreal. He's on a speed run to the GOAT conversation. Ultimately, what's next for Alex Pereira? That might be a good video idea. Let me know what you guys think. Any question, comments, feedback, leave it in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, and until next time.